The Philadelphia Eagles just beat the Green Bay Packers 34-29 in a thrilling Friday night football game. In today's video, I break down the game and tell you everything you need to know about what happened. So starting off, just opinions on the Eagles based off this game. And that is that we are going to the Super Bowl. Like, this team, the potential is to be one of the best teams ever. They have everything. What else do they need? They have a quarterback, they have a running back, a great running back, it seems, based off this. Best wide receivers in the NFL. Offensive line was okay. It was decent enough. There were 2 sacks given up, so that was okay. There was a decent amount of pressure, but offensive line looked good, and the defense, well, we did give up 29 points. Watch this video, and I'll tell you why they looked a lot better than the box score seems. Overall, I'm feeling really good about this team. It was a great win. We should go to Brazil every first game of the season and beat down some people that is the fan favorite NFC team. Everyone around the NFL saying the Packers are better than the Eagles. The Eagles marched down there and just put them in their place, even with their C game. This was not an A performance or even a B performance by the Eagles. They still beat the Packers. So I guess I should probably do the actual breakdown real quick of what happened in this game in case you missed it, in case maybe you walked away for a half or something. But anyways, the Packers start out with the ball. What is Jordan Love going to do? The supposed best quarterback in the NFL, or the next best quarterback in the NFL by some people, with the elite wide receivers. And so they go down the field, they go 20 yards and punt the ball. So they almost went 4-on-4, got a penalty, changed their mind, punted the ball. The Eagles get the ball. What is this exciting offense going to do? And they get the ball, they hand it to Saquan, the new addition, and he falls down 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Then a few plays later, Jalen throws a terrible interception. It was to Davontae Smith. He was in triple coverage in the middle of the field on our own roughly 35-yard line. It was not a good pass at all. It was a bad decision and a bad throw. So there's no excuse. This was not a tipped pass. This was terrible. Anyways, Packers get the ball. The Eagles defense looks lights out again. 5 plays, 6 yards. They get a field goal. So far, Eagles looking dominant on defense. Offense is like, what is going on? But to be honest, if it starts out one way or the other, I'm happy with this because I believe the offense can get better and will get better. If the defense started out shaky, I would be nervous. Eagles get the ball again. Cam Jurgens snaps the ball. Jalen Hurts not ready for it. Fumbles the ball. Packers get the ball within the 20 or so. This is terrible. The worst offensive start I can even imagine. I can't get any worse than this. It's not possible. Interception, fumble, both deep in your own territory. And then the Packers aren't able to do anything. They get 8 plays. They get 8 yards. Defense on the Eagles, best first quarter I've seen in years. Amazing. Anyways, Packers kick a field goal 6-0. Being down only 6-0 against a good offense, or believed to be good offense, when you have done 2 turnovers in your own red zone, roughly. That's amazing. That's ideal scenario. So the Eagles get the ball back after that, go down the field, and then throw a touchdown pass to none other than Saquon Barkley. We didn't see this at all most of last year. So most of last year, we had Swift. He never got past the ball. So a lot of us assumed that we just wouldn't pass the ball to our running back now. But it appears maybe Barkley is good enough to get some passes. Now, he did only get 2 passes, but one was an 18-yard touchdown catch, which was a good catch too. This was not an easy, wide-open catch. It was a really good catch. So that puts us up 7-6. The Packers get the ball, and this is where The game has completely changed. You would never guess that this game started out 6-0 looking at the end score of 34-29. The Eagles scored 34 points in 3 quarters. That's crazy. So anyways, Packers go down the field. Jaden Reed, their wide receiver, appears to be electric. He is really good. He caught the ball 4 times. He had 138 yards and a touchdown. He also had a 33-yard rushing touchdown. So I don't know if he's going to be like this all the time, but in this game, the Eagles just couldn't tackle him. He was super fast. He could catch well, and he was the wide receiver of the night. So anyways, Jordan Love, he's heating up some. So on this drive, the Packers drove down the field. Then Reed got the 33-yard touchdown run that I mentioned a second ago. Puts it at 12-7. Eagles are down by 5. Not a normal score. But anyways, then the Eagles get the ball. This is just the most fast-paced 2 quarters I've almost ever seen. Eagles get the ball, 9 plays, 70 yards of just, roughly like 10 to 15 yards at a time, it felt like. Throwing the ball, running the ball. This is what the offense should look like. It was amazing. It involved Barkley. It involved A.J. Brown. Those were really the main 2. Davontae Smith actually also got a 20-yard catch there. So really, it involved everyone that matters. We drove all the way down the field, and then Saquan Barkley got an 11-yard rushing touchdown. That was a really good run, and he looked really good. Like, I didn't love Saquon at the time of signing him, but he looked amazing. So anyways, at this point, Eagles 14, Packers 12. Then the defenses at this point are a little worn out. Still the second quarter. Jordan Love, gets the ball. He should have thrown a pick 6. Nakobe Dean had a pick 6. It hit him in the hands. It was an easy walk-in touchdown, and he just dropped it. There's no one near him, and it was unfortunate. And then just 2 plays later, maybe even the next play. Anyways, Jaden Reed caught a 70-yard touchdown pass where the defense just fell apart. It was a broken play, it seemed like. 70-yard touchdown pass there. Longest one Jordan Love has ever had. So anyways, electric quarter. Eagles get the ball back with 5 minutes left. Go down the field, kick a field goal. That makes it 19-17 going into the half. So 6 points in the first quarter, 30 points in the second quarter. And going into half, I was pretty happy with it. Now, I did want the Eagles to get a touchdown on the last drive down the field. I really thought they should have, and easily could have. They were well within scoring position. But I was happy. The defense had shown up for the most part. I know they just gave up 2 touchdowns in the second quarter. But the defense has shown up at this point. We should be out of this game. We gave up 2 turnovers deep in our own end zone. Deep in our own zone. This game should be over. It should be 30-10 or something. This should be blown out. And we were only down by 5 points. And we get the ball back. So I was very happy with this second quarter and this performance. And this Eagles team, man, I'm telling you, they're going to be really good. So third quarter, Eagles go right down the field in 2 plays. Long touchdown pass to A.J. Brown. Feeling good. Take the lead for the first, or not the first time in the game, for the second time in the game. Take the lead 24-19. This doesn't last long because all of a sudden there's no defense in this game. There's no defense second or third quarter. Packers march down the field as well, using a lot of Josh Jacobs in this one. But they get a touchdown as well, which was a 2-yard touchdown pass to Watson. Then the Eagles get the ball. Will they respond? It's 26 Green Bay, 24 Packers. They don't. The Eagles just punt it away. But surprisingly, then the Packers punt, and then the Eagles punt. So it's punt, 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 finally some normal football for these Brazilians to see. Then the Packers had the ball once again, and it was an interception from Jordan Love, an outstanding interception from Reed Blankenship. I was very impressed by this catch. It was a great interception. Top tier. So, very impressive. The Eagles then score a touchdown. And who scored the touchdown? Saquon Barkley, of course. So, there was that. Packers get the ball. Offense is back on the table. They march down the field, and they miss a fairly easy field goal. Will the Eagles put them away in this fourth quarter? They get the ball. They drive down the field. And then what happens? Does Jalen Hurts put them away? Actually, he throws a terrible interception. And it was painful because they were in the red zone. They could have just thrown it out of bounds, kicked a field goal, been up by 8. Instead, he throws an interception across his body, across the field, and it was not good. And we were still up by 5, but it was not good. The Packers managed to go down the field and thankfully only kick a field goal, leaving the Eagles up by 2. And with about 8 minutes remaining, the Eagles then go on march on a methodical drive down the field. That was almost the perfect drive. It took up 7.5 minutes, went 67 yards, and ended in a field goal to put us up by 5. The Packers then get 30 seconds to go down the field and score. Looked like Jordan Love actually might have gotten hurt, might have had cramps, what it looked like to me, but I'm not sure. But anyways, so then Malik Willis came in, and it didn't work out. The Eagles ended up winning 34-29. Great game, great great Friday night game. It ended at like 12, so this video might go out really late, but who cares? Anyways, what are the real takeaways? Jalen Hurts, not great. Jalen Hurts, not great. Because he was 20 for 34. And 2 interceptions and 2 touchdowns. And 2 fumbles. He only lost 1, but 2 fumbles. 3 turnovers is not up to the standard. But the fact that you can be not up to the standard and still score 34 points is why I'm so excited for this team. It's feeling good. It's feeling good in Eagle Land. I'd say Philadelphia, but I'm not in Philadelphia, so Eagle Land is across the world. So, AJ Brown, or no, not AJ Brown, Saquon Barkley, get to him first. 109 yards, I think I said this earlier, 2 touchdowns running, 1 touchdown receiving. He had an excellent game. AJ Brown, 120 yards and a touchdown. Davontae Smith, 84 yards. Kind of quiet game, a quiet 7 for 84. I can deal with that. Goddard showed up when it mattered. Jahan Dotson never showed up, but that's okay. I don't care at this point. Yeah, that's fine. Anyways, we scored, what is that math? 31 points in 2 quarters. The Eagles could have easily blown the Packers out. If the Eagles played their A game, they would have blown this Packers team out. It could have been 45-20 if the Eagles played their A game. Because this C game, and they still won. So, I feel like that's the offense. The defense, why am I okay with the defense giving up 29 points? And what am I concerned about? I'm happy with this part. They only allowed 6 points in the first quarter. As I said, they were put in a terrible situation, and they played very well. Also, in the fourth quarter, they kept the Packers to just 3 points in the fourth quarter. So those 2 quarters, great. 9 points, happy with that. Of course, don't mention those other 2 quarters yet. But the fact that they were put in such a rough situation and they withstood it. The Packers didn't even score 30 points, and we had 3 turnovers. 2 of which well within our own territory. That defense is playing maybe not great. I'm not going to say great. You don't give up 20 points in 2 quarters if you're playing great. But that defense is playing good, and that is something that I could not say a single time last year, and I'm very, very happy about that. So let's go to more of the specifics, more of the players. The linebackers. I don't know if I've ever said this, but the Eagles linebackers played really well. The Eagles played like the Kobe Dean, solid, but let's not show up the star. Zach Bond, I know you might not have heard of him if you haven't paid attention to the Eagles in this offseason. He was an edge rusher the past 4 years he's played in the NFL. He's never been a linebacker. First game at linebacker, he has 15 tackles, 11 of which were solo tackles, 1 tackle for a loss, and then 2 sacks, including the game-sealing sack. He was amazing. That was great. Like, I did not see this coming. Devin White was ruled out mysteriously a few days ago. So a little concerned. These linebackers were great. The backfield they did miss a few things. Of course, there's the 70-yard touchdown that I mentioned. That was bad. But let's start off. Quinion Mitchell. Quinion Mitchell is going to be a stud. He looked excellent. Going from Toledo to the NFL, guarding the Packers, and he looked this good? Like, he was awesome. He was great. I was a little worried he's going to get a few penalties talking too much, but he was great. Slay still looked really good. The Blankenship had the interception. And then C.J. Gardner-Johnson, I did see him miss a few times, especially that 70-yard touchdown. They did miss some tackles. As a whole, they missed some tackles because it just happened. The field was terrible. I haven't mentioned that yet, but the field reminded me of the Super Bowl, how bad it was. Of course, the Eagles Super Bowl. And that was a really bad field. Everyone was slipping all over the place. Lots of broken plays kind of from it because people would just slide across the field. So that was something. But anyways, the backfield, I guess the one weakness, I would say, the biggest weakness, was I didn't think Davontae Maddox played great. I saw him, it felt like running way behind the guys he was guarding a little too often for my taste. And I saw people targeting him a little too often for my taste. But anyways, they looked really good. I wonder how they would have played if Isaiah Rodgers was playing, because he looked good all offseason, and then unfortunately he was hurt. So I wonder how much playing time he would have got, if any, if he was healthy. And then the front of the defense, the defensive line, how did they look? And, well, they didn't have any sacks. And that's the easiest thing to track. You just look at the sacks. They didn't have any sacks. So there was that. The run defense for most of the game was really good. Most of the game. Except for 2 drives in third or fourth quarter where Josh Jacobs was carving them up. And at one point, Emmanuel Wilson. But I think they got tired. I think they were a little out of shape. I don't know if this is going to continue or not. Like, they played a lot of snaps. All those turnovers early in the game, all that, all those points and everything. The defense played a lot of snaps. And there were a lot of snaps in this game. And the defensive line looked to me like it got pretty tired. In the first half, their run defense was really, really good, especially Josh Jacobs. I think it was halftime. He had 8 carries for 12 yards. And then something happened. We fell apart. Over the next 8 carries, he got 72 yards. So something went wrong. But I have hope that is just conditioning. The no sacks does concern me. But watching the game, there was constant pressure on Jordan Love. It was very common for him to be throwing it while being, while having arms on him, hands on him, from an Eagles defender. So he was throwing under pressure a lot. It is a little frustrating that they didn't complete the play at all. And a lot of the times when he was throwing under pressure, he would get a complete pass. So there is that. He did end up with 260 passing yards. But a little concerning that there weren't sacks. But it's not like he had all day. He did not have all day for sure. And a little bit of this was the guys up there playing okay. A little bit was some extra pressure or some simulated pressure from Vic Fangio. But I'm not that concerned. I'm mildly concerned because there weren't, we didn't get 3 or 4 sacks. We got 2 sacks and one was on the last play of the game. Doesn't really count. So really we got 1 sack. But it seemed to me like if the conditioning is there, which we'll see next week what to really think. But if the conditioning is there, the run defense is good, and the pass defense, I don't think we'll get a ton of sacks this year. That might just not be what we are. We are moving from a sack defense to a coverage defense, and I think I like it more. I like being able to trust that there's not wide open wide receivers streaking across the field. And there were a few, but not nearly as many as there were last year. So overall, offense was not good. It was shaky. But if a shaky offense scores 34 points, you got a pretty good offense there. And the defense was put in terrible situations and, in my opinion, held strong. 29 points, I know. But to me, they held strong other than that second quarter. And really, if Nakobe Dean gets that pick 6, this could be a blowout anyway. And then the defense would really hold strong. That was a 14-point swing right there. I like both sides of the ball. Jake Elliott looked good. The punter looked really good. 2 punts, about 50 yards each, one inside the 20. That was good. One weakness, not that big of a deal, but a weakness, the kick return. I thought we looked bad at that. So we returned one from within the end zone, made it out to about the 25, and then had a penalty call on us, so we went down to the 15. That was bad. Don't ever do that. That's just a bad idea. And then one time the Packers squibbed it, and we were not prepared for that, and only got out to about the 15-yard line. So that wasn't great. Kick return needs some work. But overall, it was a sloppy game by the Eagles. And honestly, this is from an Eagles perspective, if you couldn't tell. The Packers probably didn't play their A game either. There was lots of dropped passes that I noticed. So there was that. And you could easily say the Packers, I guess the first turnover they did force. I'll give them credit for that. They did catch an interception. They did do something there. So you could say they didn't take enough advantage of their opportunities, and maybe it's like the Eagles C game versus the Packers B game. That's reasonable. But overall, I'm feeling good. Feeling good as an Eagles fan. In my next week power rankings, I will definitely be moving them on up, as the Jeffersons would say. But yes, my official grades, I will give the offense a B. I will give Jalen Hurts a C. I will give the defense a B minus. But yeah, I don't know. Those are just kind of grades off the top of my head. We'll see if I keep this grading thing going or not. What are your thoughts on the game? Did you celebrate the Eagles win by maybe burning a couch or jumping off a small building under 15 feet tall? Did you do something fun like that or not? Maybe you just watched this video and celebrated with me. But I think this is going to be a great season for us Eagles fans. I am feeling great. There were no major injuries on the Eagles part of the ball. Hopefully Jordan Love is okay. I think he is. I think it's just cramps personally, but who knows. And it will be a great season, starting off the year right. So stick around. I'll make a preview video for the Eagles next game shortly, in a few Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, sometime. And I'll try to keep some constant Eagles coverage throughout this NFL season. And I'll see you later. Bye.